y'all, I have a little time today. I'm actually getting ready to check out my hotel. And so I had this thought, and my thought pertained to like, are women really independent women or are we just adults? And I say this because a lot of times I hear these men saying, the independent woman, she's masculine, she's all these things. But when you hear what they say about the independent woman, it's a woman who is making good money typically, that takes care of her bills, that's doing what she needs to do. And I don't understand what's wrong with that. You know, what is the problem with that? Being an adult, because don't men do that? Let me go into this room. Give me 1 second. All right, y'all, I'm back. I'm not going to take too long. Let me figure out where to put this at so I can get some good lighting in here. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. All right, y'all, I'm not going to take too long. I had to come back to my hotel room so I can get my bags and head through security and catch my flight. But what I wanted to say is, and to complete my thought, like, I have heard this week. Hey y'all, so I am back in DC, and yesterday when I was trying to leave the hotel in Detroit to get back to DC, I started a video where I wanted to talk about this thing that crossed my mind. How I keep hearing pretty much from men that women that are responsible adults are pretty much being equated to independent women. Now, I'm the first to tell you, when Ne-Yo's song came out about independent women and she got her own, him and Phelps, I was all about that. I love the song, but they have kind of made that into a negative connotation. Because why is it a woman that is making good money, paying her bills, doing the things that all adults that are responsible should do, then she's made out to be this independent woman? You know, I even heard someone say that women that are making, you know, like 6-figure salaries are masculine. Like, it just seems so, I don't even know what to call it. I really don't, y'all. It's like when I listen to these people make these statements, I'm like, do they not think about what they are saying? Like, seriously. Because for me, and my mindset has been since I was in my 20s, like, if I gotta get in my car and drive to my job, I want to make the most money that I can make. Period. Yeah. And I would think, and I'm gonna tell you how I thought. When I was in the engineering building at Tuskegee University, you know, in the wee hours of the morning, you know, getting my chemical engineering degree and things of that nature, I was thinking about how, wow, you know, with me getting this degree, I'll be able to, you know, have a higher earning potential and I could contribute more to the household. You know what I'm saying? Which would help us to have a better life, because you can do more with, say, 300,000 than what you can do with just, say, 150K, right? You know, you can live a little bit differently, do some different things, right? So that was my mindset. I never thought that being a woman that makes a good salary would be considered masculine. Like, who does that? And so, anyway, y'all, it's just been a trip just listening to people on this internet make these statements. Like, I hear men talk about, you know, oh, well, you know, I need to go make sure I get a prenuptial agreement because I don't need this woman, you know, taking all my money, da da da. But let's roll it back, y'all, because a lot of these men are out here wanting to date women that make significantly less than they do, because they feel like, oh, well, if I get this minimum wage earning woman, you know, I'm saving her, and I guess they feel she'll be beholden to him and won't leave. But, you know, if you're not operating in a space of responsibleness as a man, I will call it, then she may leave you. And because you make so much more than her, she's gonna leave and receive alimony, more than likely. If she has kids, she's gonna also get child support. So you are choosing to be with someone who makes significantly less than you, and then you complain about having to provide her with resources once your marriage is over. Does that make sense to y'all? Seriously. This is what people that they're saying this on the internet, y'all. Seriously. It is mind boggling to me. But anywho, y'all, I'm just gonna say, I don't know. I don't know what to come of this. I just really don't know. It's like you hear men talk about women that make good money as being masculine, as being, as being an adult that's responsible is such a bad thing. And then when they end up marrying someone who doesn't make a lot of money and they end up getting divorced, then they get mad about having to give her part of the resources that apparently the judge felt that she was owed. I mean, because honestly, when you look at the statistics of it all, out of all divorces, only about 10% result with alimony. And out of that 10%, 95% of alimony goes to women. Well, why is that? Because men typically make more money than the woman in the relationship. Well, even if you were to get a woman that was making a decent salary, right? A lot of times, women will sacrifice their career opportunities for the family. So the man is able to go out into the world and take on all the opportunities because they know they got this woman at home that's going to make sure home is good, kids is good, things of that nature. So she's limiting her growth potential in her job, if she even is working outside the home, so that he can make more money and do the things that he wants to do. But men don't comprehend that. As a matter of fact, I was listening to a show on YouTube. It had to be about a month ago, because I was in Washington State, and this man was explaining to this guy about how women who get married end up making less, and he was like, "Oh, well, that's illegal." He couldn't understand the concept that women sacrifice in order to ensure the household runs, and so that man can go and do the things that he needs to do. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't understand that. Like I told you, it is very mind-boggling to me how these people think. Like, seriously. So, I don't know, y'all. It just came across my mind. I'm sure I have more to say, but at this point, I don't want to belabor the point. Just know out here that there are people out here, y'all, that they are clueless. And let me tell you, because I'm a woman, they may say I'm the clueless one. So there's that too, right? Because as a woman, they will always try to say, "Oh, well, you must have misunderstood what I said." Sir, do not blame me for your lack and your inability to clearly articulate the thought that you wanted to, put out into the world. Like, don't get mad at me because I read what you wrote and responded to it when you meant to say something differently, but you didn't. Like, they will always be like, "Oh, well, you misunderstood me," and not take any self-accountability or reflect on the fact that maybe they didn't state it correctly to begin with. But who has time to do tick for tat with some of these dudes? And when they start talking about this whole passport bro situation, I'm like over that conversation, like, miss me with that. Because at the end of the day, you would rather take your chances and quote unquote marry a woman from overseas, okay? Like, I'm sure you guys saw the whole thing online with the lady named Annie, I think her name was, and how she was from the Philippines and married this rich guy here in the States and had a couple kids, pregnant now, and then told him at Magic Kingdom how she was gonna leave him and take her kids and have that baby back over there in the Philippines. I guess everybody missed that. So these men would rather go overseas and allegedly get them a foreign wife, and then she comes to the United States, because she wants to have a better life. Not that she loves this person, because a lot of times when you look at 90 Day Fiance, these people aren't really with you because they love you. They're looking for a better life, and you are the ticket to that, right? So let's just keep it going. So they go and marry these people from overseas. The women have these kids, and then they want to be back in their home country with the kids. So now you don't have access to your kids on a daily basis because this woman has taken the children back to her country. But then the men will complain about the American women and everything, and how, well, I gotta give her child support. I mean, these are for your kids, sir. And honestly, it's just amazing how some people, how some men in particularly look at parenting. Like, I look at my dad and how once I turned 18, my dad's parenting and his financial support did not stop at 18. When I went off to college, you know, if I needed anything, you know, my dad and my mom, actually, they were the ones that still provided for me until I got my job at the age of 22 and was able to take care of myself. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of guys, they're like, oh, my child's 18, I don't have to take care of them no more. Like, really? Like, if your child is trying to go to college or do something for themselves, you're just gonna just go, well, I'm done. I pay my child support. But if you are an actual father or actual parent, what I call a daddy, because to me, you know, I have a relationship with my dad. I call him daddy. So a father to me is the person's name. That's just a block on a birth certificate. Daddy is somebody who you talk to every day, who you have a rapport with, right? That's a relationship. You know what I'm saying? So again, when I call my mama and my daddy that's because I have a relationship with them. Like, the parenting didn't cut off when I turned 18 back in May of 2000. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, y'all, I don't want to say too much more. But let me know your thoughts in the comments regarding anything I've said. Particularly, have you guys noticed how men are equating independent women because they are responsible adults, they're independent women. But if a man is being responsible, he's just being an adult. He's not considered an independent man. Make it make sense. So anyway, you guys, I am finna sign off. Let me know your thoughts, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.